Ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS podcast with hosts Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. This is the Quick Pitch MLB DFS podcast, recording here for Monday's 10-game main slate. James, this is another slate where we have some pretty good pitchers on the mound, which is usually beneficial for us when it comes to building some lineups, and we even have those pitchers in some pretty solid matchups as well.
Yeah, good matchups, elite names such as Ohtani, Cole, Urias, Castillo, Strider. The pool runs deep. I still don't understand some of the price tags on some of these pitchers that have been pitching very good for a very long time, but that's for us to take advantage of. So should be another fun 10-gamer to kick off Monday.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% here. I am currently opening up FanDuel. So I assume by now they've given us a FanDuel slate for Monday. So
one can only hope, considering the time of the
I'm doing this for you, Ravens. Don't you worry. We got your back. So we'll look at the pitching to kick it off here. Luis Castillo is the top price pitcher on FanDuel. On DraftKings, Ohtani is your top price guy. Ohtani and Gerrit Cole are both up over $10,000. That's your top two guys. Urias is $9,600. Castillo is $9,200. Just four starters above $9K over on DraftKings. On FanDuel, though, Castillo is $11,200. Cole is $11K. Urias is $10,500. Strider is $10,200. And Ohtani is actually $10K, coming in as your fifth highest price starting pitcher. James, of that core five, we'll include Strider for the sake of the conversation here for DraftKings as well. How are you going about your roster building at pitcher position?
Man, I don't know. I wish I had an answer because I quite literally, John, like all five of them. Luis Castillo is in an elite matchup against a team that strikes out a whole bunch. Now, they've been slightly better, I guess, right? Over the last month, they only have the fifth highest strikeout rate against righties. Take that for what it's worth, 25%. 670 team OPS is still bottom 10 in the league. So obviously Castillo is an elite spot. Gerrit Cole coming off an absolute dominant start. He does have to face his father, Ji-Man Choi, here. So that's a little worrisome. Ji-Man Choi has been confirmed, his dad. So
I thought that was Rafael Devers.
Yeah, I think they both have.
He's dominated Tampa Bay this year though. 3 starts, 0.93 ERA, 29 strikeouts in 19 innings.
Yeah, Gerrit Cole is an elite play. It was more of a joke, but it is confirmed his two fathers. Julio Urias. Something I noticed last week: Milwaukee, John, against left-handed pitching over the last month.
Jordan Montgomery
been. Yeah, dreadful. 30% K rate over that span. OPS 594. That's 28th in baseball. I don't really want to pay 10.5 for Urias, but I'm also okay with it. He's coming off just tremendous outing after tremendous outing. 5 straight games of 6+ innings, a win in all 5, 2 earned runs or less, including 2 shutouts. 6 or more strikeouts in 3 of the 5, 20+ DraftKings points in each of those games. Can't really go wrong with Urias, especially on FanDuel, where you're getting the quality start bonus in every one of those starts. So I like him. I love Spencer Strider. I think this is interesting that his next start after all that shit talk he had to all that stuff he had to say about the Mets offense getting lucky and all the BABIP stuff. I don't know if you heard that, but
I did. Yeah, I heard it.
Now he gets to face them again.
To face them again.
Yeah. I love Spencer Strider. It is a tough matchup.
The Mets have given him trouble, not just like the last start, but the start before that against them as well. You didn't even get 5 innings out of him. So
sure, 8 Ks though.
Yeah,
8 Ks in that game.
Always a good strikeout guy.
And then Ohtani, hard to see him as the 5th option ever, but hard to pass him up at 10K as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I would pay him. I would pay 10.3 on DraftKings as well.
Yeah, FanDuel especially 10K, where the only thing that hurts you is the earn run. He doesn't get knocked for anything else. So I'm with you there. So some interesting top price options. If we're going into the mid tier a bit, we know Carrasco, tough spot against Atlanta, but we do know Atlanta strikes out a lot, and we saw Carrasco 6 innings, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts in his most recent outing against Atlanta. He has another outing earlier this year, 8 shutout innings against them with 5 strikeouts. So he's held his own against the Braves, so I think you certainly can go ahead and throw him into consideration. I think another guy for me in this middle range, I'm going to go back to Josiah Gray. Faced the Cubs in his most recent outing, 6 1/3, 2 earned, 5 Ks. We say it all the time. As long as he doesn't give up a home run, he's generally okay. He gave up 1. He didn't give up 4 like he did against the start before. So Gray at $7,900 over on DraftKings. I'm willing to go there for sure.
Yeah, and let's look at the Cubs. ISO against right-handed pitching over the last month, 26th in the league. So not a lot of power coming from the Cubbies right now against righties. This is not a Wrigley game. So, yeah, I like Josiah Gray quite a bit here as well.
More expensive over on FanDuel where all these guys are priced up. Alex Cobb's $9,300 against Arizona. Freddie Peralta against the Dodgers at $91. Joe Ryan's at $9K. Josiah Gray is at $8,900. Stroman on the other side of that is $84. So FanDuel, these guys are kind of jacked up when it comes to pricing. But Joe Ryan at $7,300, I think is. I know we've talked about his starts. And it's like, oh, well, outside of that one Padres start, he's been dominant. And it's like, he was. And then he faced the Dodgers, and he got lit up again. But you know what? Padres, Dodgers, good teams. Royals, bad team. So I'm willing to go back to Joe Ryan here.
Yeah, and you know what the Royals are doing that they weren't doing earlier in the year, John?
Striking out.
Striking out. Yep. 23.9% over the last month.
A bunch of young bats in that lineup now. So
yeah, a bunch of young bats in that lineup is correct. 7th highest in baseball over the last month against righties. So I think there is some upside. Again, I think what we're going to have to look for is Joe Ryan mixing up his pitches because he's been weirdly just throwing fastballs lately. And, the Major League hitters, he's throwing 92. He's not throwing 98. So we're going to need to see a little mixture, but he's dominated the Royals in 2 starts this year. So no reason to think it can't continue.
Yep. All right. If we're looking at any value, guys, does anybody stick out to you one way or the other?
Chris Bubich has been pretty good. I think we've targeted him a whole bunch lately, and that just hasn't panned out. 5 straight starts on DraftKings with 15 or more DraftKings points, which at 6,700 is super quality. The strikeouts have been there as well. 6 and 3 straight starts. Against the White Sox, who are in elite offense against lefties, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. And if you want to even go further into that, Tampa and Toronto. Those are his last 5 games, and he's had 15 DraftKings points or more in each start. He's 1 out away from having 5 straight quality starts over that span, too. So I think Bubich, I know the Twins, have some thump. But 16th in OPS over the last month against lefties. They strike out 23.5% of the time. So I think there's some upside for Bubich here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Especially at that price point on DraftKings. Like I said, on FanDuel, he's priced up. He's $8,100. So not too much value there. For FanDuel, I'd be willing to go back to Capillion in Texas. We talked a lot. Texas is now a bit more of a... Well, what did we say? They started going back more towards a hitter's park, but...
Yeah, it's a hitter's park this year.
Yeah. But he's been pitching well, and the Rangers' offense has been hit or miss at least a little bit of late. So I would be willing to go there. That's probably it for FanDuel for me. DraftKings, if you want to go Capillion again, that's fine. He's 65. I don't think I'd go Kikuchi against Baltimore. We just saw this matchup, and he got lit up. We talk about it all the time. Baltimore against lefties, so no shock that would occur there. Bradish, Otto, Yarbrough against the Yankees. I don't really have any interest there. So it's Bubich or Capillion for me on DraftKings. Probably just Bubich over on FanDuel, or Capillion rather on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think one of those dudes in Oakland, Texas is going to surprise us. Otto or Caprillion. Not that I really want to play Glenn Otto, but I think one of them is.
What are your thoughts on the strikeout numbers for Alex Cobb lately? So 26 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. Cubs, Dodgers, and Padres in those 3. Now he gets Arizona.
Yeah, and if you even want to go a little further, a 6 against the Dodgers is not too shabby either.
Right.
I mean, I guess last two starts or versus the Dodgers, he's had good quality strikeouts. I mean, it's hard to overlook it. And do we love Arizona's offense other than Jake McCarthy, the GOAT? They're 13th in OPS over the last month against righties. They've hit for pretty decent power, but if he keeps the ball on the ground, then it's going to be a tough time for opposing offenses in general.
It's he's one of those pitchers where either FanDuel or DraftKings are going to be wrong because FanDuel has him up at $9,300 where DraftKings has him at $7,000.
I mean, on DraftKings, I'm 100% in on Cobb for tournaments. On FanDuel at that price, I could not see myself getting there.
I agree. All right, let's go catcher. Again, 10 games here, so a lot of catcher depth available to us. You can kind of pick and choose however you want to go here. If you want to spend up, go mid-tier. Really a dealer's choice based off your roster construction. If there's any one or two, though, James, that you're looking at being like, yep, this is the guy, how are you handling it?
Salvi, 4,600. I like, especially if Joe Ryan's throwing a lot of fastballs. And Alejandro Kirk against Kyle Bradish in Toronto. I think that could be a problem. Toronto could break out of a slump here in a big way. So I'll go with both those guys over 4K. Both those two stand out.
Yep, I like it. If we're looking a little bit under 4K, Kelly's at 39. I know we continue to kind of go in that direction. Cooling off a bit, but still respectable numbers over the last 10 games. Kind of fit the profile there. And I'll just forever stack against Mad Bum. Joey Bart's $2,700.
Yep. And the Giants hit lefties, man. And we've talked about Joey Bart hitting lefties too.
Yeah.
I think this position is clear-cut value because Jose Trevino crushes lefties this year, and Joey Bart also crushes lefties. So I don't think there's much need if you wanted to spend up. I think you can obviously always spend up if you want, but I much prefer to just play Trevino or Bart.
Yep, I'm with you there. All right, let's go on over to the first base position then. At the top, you got Vlad Guerrero here at $6,000 up against Kyle Bradish, as you mentioned. Again, Vladdy, his numbers are Yeah, I'm waiting for him to really have a big, strong, breakout week or two. So he's not really playing at the level of a 6K player. But if you're stacking Toronto, it's kind of difficult not to include him against Bradish. So you're kind of making that decision one way or the other. And I feel that way a little bit about the top price guys here in general. I know Alonso better against righties this year, power wise. He's hitting over 300 over the last 10 against Strider. Freeman cooling off a bit. Gets Peralta, who looked really good in his last start. I don't know why Patrick Wisdom's 5,500, but as we talk about all the time, Josiah Gray is one that can give up 4 or 5 home runs. So Wisdom has the power. I don't want to pay top dollar for Wisdom.
Look at the cup, Sean. Just go. Oh my!
I know. It's like the algorithm knows that at least 2 home runs are being hit, and they don't want you to take advantage. So now that's your top price guys. Again, I don't really love any of them. In the mid tier, I'd look at maybe Matt Olson against Carrasco at $4,800. I like Abreu against Urquidy at $4,600. I don't know. Does anybody else really jump off the page to you?
No, I do like Vladdy quite a bit for tournaments. Kyle Bradish has been really bad against right-handed bats specifically, over 1,000 OPS and a 435 WOBA. So I do like Vladdy quite a bit. Other than the guys you mentioned, like Mancini is fine. Voit against a righty is fine. There's really Ruff will be out of the lineup. Jose Miranda, if you want to attack Bubic. Joey Meneses, John. Hard to not at least look at the guy. He's hitting everything out. 2+ hits in 5 straight games. Has an 8-game hitting streak in his 10 that he's played and has hit 5 home runs. $3,100. Joey Meneses against Strom. Strom had 4 home runs in his last 2 starts, by the way.
Yeah. Did you mention Nate Lowe? Nate Lowe's been on
No,
fire again.
did not. No, did not.
He's back to rolling.
Is he just like the weirdest dude? Like,
look at his numbers: 283, 15 bombs, 780 OPS. I mean,
103 Ks. Stole a second base on Sunday too. Shout out Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Someone would say Nathaniel Lowe.
Another guy that's I think found his swing. Vinny was a Pasquantino. Is that how we're going?
Yeah,
about it?
Pasquantino.
$2,100. I mean, look at his numbers.
Crushing.
3 homers in the last. 4 homers in his last 6. So, if we're looking for some value here against the fastball throwing Joe Ryan at 2,100, maybe Vinny Paz is a way to take a peek and spend.
Matt Sells was super excited about him when he was called up and like put him as like a top 12 rest of season first baseman.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing why. So elite batted ball skills. He doesn't strike out. And there's power in his bat as well. So yeah, 2,100 if you want to go there, perfectly fine with that.
Sure. Second base position. Some guys are expensive at the top here. Altuve, Rojas, Morels at 53. Again, we talked about this. Cubs are just, you think Washington was in Coors Field or something.
Yep, pretty much.
And Ketel Marte is up over 5K. So, I am probably not playing any of those guys. I don't know how you feel about any of them, but, outside of stacks, but even then, like, I don't know. I mean, I know Rojas is playing well. But do you want to spend $5,400 for him?
No.
Right.
No.
That's exactly how I feel. So
probably no one over 5K at this position.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. I'll play Estrada against Bumgarner at 43. Yep. That's fine if you want to go there. He's hit
lefties all year.
Yep. Well, he has. Again, if you're trusting Gavin Lux's ability to hit singles, go for it. $4,100 there. 303, 910 OPS. Only 1 home run during that stretch, so take that for what it's worth. Is Merrifield still leading off for the Blue Jays at 4K? Or did they bump him down?
I think
he's not hitting well, so
we could check what their lineup was for Sunday.
Okay. Wilmer is at 4K, 323, 34 OPS, last 10 for him. If he finds himself in the lineup, he can certainly take a shot again. How many podcasts in a row now has it been where I'm like, please just stack against Madison? He's just, all of the numbers say he's down. He's just not pitching well, and finally they're starting to score on him. They
hit Merrifield 7th on Sunday.
Okay.
And yes, stack against Madison Bumgarner. I agree.
Yep.
Wilmer Flores for life. And the good thing is you could play Estrada over at shortstop too if you wanted to play them both in this stack. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Raz is down to 3,600. Remember when he was like 6K and we're like, why?
That was the randomest 6K price tag we've ever seen.
Yep.
This guy just still hitting 332. It's crazy.
I know. He's right up there. You can stack Ramon Urias. So we're in on Baltimore. If you go back to the last time when Kikuchi was starting, we're like, play lefties play Baltimore against this guy, and they hammered him. So Urias at 3K. Will probably, honestly, he may be the guy I'm locking in at second base. Truthfully,
just make sure it's Ramon and not Luis.
Yes, play Ramon against Kikuchi and not Luis against Urias. Is Julio?
Yep.
Is Julio?
Yep. That was a great one. Like that, you didn't even know you did it until you did it, and then you were like, "Oh shoot, I just said that."
Yeah. So there's 3 Uriases that we're talking about here.
3 Uriases. 2 are facing one another. The one that is not is the one you want.
Are they related? I know the 2 infielders are.
I don't know. It's a good question. Vaughn Grisham, 2K, by the way.
Okay, I like that.
He's very good.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's it. I got nothing else at second base.
No.
Okay. Third base.
Austin Riley.
Wisdom is 55. Rojas is 54. Nope. Riley at 52. I like Bregman at 49 against Cueto.
Yeah, he's looking good at the dish right now, man. He's been super good.
Everybody's favorite Blue Jay, Matt Chapman. if you want to go that way. I know he's starting to cool off, but back home.
But nobody will play him. Nobody is going to play him.
Nope, he's better at home.
We're gonna play.
Look at those home numbers. Look at those home numbers. 920 OPS, 17 of his 23 home runs are at home. So.
And who's the forgotten man in the Blue Jays stack, John?
Always Matt Chapman.
Who Pete Cole told me on Friday's podcast that he filled in for you. Chapman is second on the team in home runs right now, and I bet you that would have been like your fifth guess.
Yeah, no.
Well, not you,
no,
because we know
we've been talking about it for a while, but to the listener, Bregman, by the way, 382, 1200 OPS the last 10, so very much in that conversation as the top guys. In the mid tier range here, I don't know. Longo at 39 against Mad Bum probably.
Yeah, I like Longo against lefties. I like Muncy's current form.
Okay.
He's decided to play baseball. Oh, like big time.
Oh yeah, big time. I go to the Football Hall of Fame for a weekend, and all of a sudden Max Muncy gets hot. So
yeah, he's hitting home runs.
Maybe I'm finally not in last place in that best ball weekend.
But it's like Longo, Muncy. Can't play Donaldson because he's at home. You could play Urias you could also play JD Davis if you don't want to play Longo. JD Davis cracks the lineup against a lefty, John.
Does he have outfield eligible or no?
No, just third, unfortunately. So you have to make the decision between him and Longo. So what you could do is when we get our first run of draft forecast percentage, in tournaments you could play the lesser of owned of the two.
That's true. It'll probably be JD Davis. Nobody plays him.
It will probably be JD Davis. He's been good lately.
I know he's been good since he got traded. What's his price?
$2,800.
Okay.
You know who's been really good since being traded? Emmanuel Rivera, who double donged on Saturday, and on Friday was 3 for 5 with 3 extra base hits, back-to-back 30 fantasy point games.
Wow.
I don't know what has gotten into Emmanuel Rivera, but 2,300 if you want to, if you like money.
Shortstop. Lindor, Turner, Seager, and Adames are your 5K and above group.
Seager.
Swanson, Bichette, Nico Horner. Okay. Bobby Witt, as we mentioned, has third. Short eligibility. Listen, I know that Bubic has been good, but I just find myself always gravitating towards Correa and these lefty matchups. So,
sure.
Would you play any of those guys above
Bichette? I think I'm in on the Blue Jays righties specifically, and they have a lot of them. Bradish has been really, really bad against right-handed bats. So,
our boy Jorge Mateo at 36, still swinging it well. Again, Baltimore against lefties. We're just buying him for 3 years now. We've been, even though they traded away Mancini,
this is probably the best stretch Mateo's been on, in terms of actually hitting baseballs.
Yeah,
350. Sheesh.
Yeah,
he doesn't hit 350 in spans like this.
He's figuring it out. Oh, baby. CJ Abrams is being recalled for Monday's game.
You love to see it. Now we get him every day, right?
$2,100.
There's no chance he doesn't play every day.
$2,100 against Marcus Stroman.
You think he leads off? I mean, if he leads off, he's a lock.
He's got to be a top 4 hitter in that lineup.
Because if he's leading off, I mean, think about what you could just do on DraftKings. You could play Ohtani, Cole. You could play Urias, Cole. You could play any form of top spend.
There's two $2,100 players we like with Paz and Abrams. So, the value is there on this 10-game slate for us, which is nice.
Especially if you want to play Aaron Judge against a lefty.
$6,500 Aaron Judge.
Well, he's about to have 65 home runs anytime. Anytime now, he's going to have 60. He's going to be there.
That's fair. $6,300 Mookie Betts also playing well right now. 340 to 960 OPS there. And Yordan, of course, $6,100 though, slumping a bit. Also, better on the road this year slightly. 313 batting average on the road for Yordan Alvarez. Buxton gets the lefty spot that we tend to generally like him for. Power's still there, 940 OPS the last 10. Batting average has been trash.
He's literally homering or stealing bases. Yeah. Look at this. He's literally just, that's it.
Which is fine because that scores the most fantasy points.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
All about it. I don't care. We play Kyle Schwarber. The guy's hitting 200, but he's got 35 homers. So let's see. Mid-tier guys. Would you play Julio Rodriguez against Ohtani? Probably not, but you
can, right? Righty on the mound, so if he gets on, he could.
Yeah, he's such a
he's special. I think you can. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, you're just and honestly, no ownership will be there. So
Zero.
You can, if he homers, you've gained on the league probably. So you can go that direction if you want. Baltimore again, wet blanket statement. You can play the Baltimore outfielders. Santander even at 49, like I'm about it. If you want to go there, you can. We didn't talk Mountcastle, did we? Like what's his deal?
He is day-to-day, 3,500.
Okay.
He's in the lineup, sure. He has a lot of power.
Yeah. Austin Hayes is $3,300. Like, sign me up for some outfield.
That's a really good price.
Yeah. So that's the Baltimore outfield. Like, you can play basically most guys in that lineup. They just kick lefty butt. So all good. Tucker's at 47.
When he's rolling. Like, we play him.
Yep. I know Seiya's been bad, but we talk about power. He's got power. If Gray's just kind of groove a fastball to him, like there's a good chance that he can hit it out. So
the lefties have been far more successful against Josiah Gray, but I do agree Seiya's probably one of the guys you would play.
Yeah, right. We looked at this last time, like dramatic splits.
It's drastic splits, for lefties.
Yeah, they hammer him. Let's see.
Lourdes 42. I like Lourdes. I'm in on the Blue Jays.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's fine. Blue Jays work. Anybody else? Again, so when you're facing tough pitching, like it's tough to find some of the guys our usual go-tos. They're, less go-to-y. So you mentioned McCarthy at 35. Like we'll ride.
2 stolen bases today.
Yep.
He has 4 in his last 10 games. He has I want to say he has 6 in August in 14 games, so can't really beat that.
I agree. Raymel Tapia is 3K if he's in the lineup. I'm fine. Just getting exposure to that lineup.
Giants outfield, John, is going to be cheap. A lot of them are lefties, but Slater 3,700 against he'll be in the lineup. He hits near the top. Yermin Mercedes optioned, huh? He's been down there for a week. Lamonte Wade homered in a bunch of games in a row now. And Mad Bum's been crappy. Like both sides of the split, he's been lucky. So if you want to be sneaky with we're playing a lot of Giants infielders. Like, throw one of these guys in the outfield. Yastrzemski, Wade, Luis Gonzalez hitting in the middle of their lineup. So one of these guys are in play. Yeah.
Franmil Reyes has been good for the Cubs since he's been called by them. Again, it's a righty, not a lefty versus Gray, but we know the power there is just...
Yeah, correlation with the power. I agree.
Absurd. What are your thoughts on Andujar if he's in the lineup?
Yankees are a mess. That's my... I don't hate him.
Okay.
He can hit. He just also hasn't really done that at the major league level this year.
Sure.
It might be because he just doesn't care.
Yeah, and that's also a possibility. That's it, I think, for me. Anybody else for you? Until we get lineups, obviously.
Yeah, until we get lineups, yeah.
All right, well, then give me your home run.
I'll go with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm going to go Austin Hayes.
Your home run calls have been very solid lately, so if you're out there listening right now, you should listen to John's home run call.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Austin Hayes. That's where I'm gonna ride on this one. Go lefties against righties. Baltimore in general against lefties is where I'm going. So that's it. James on the playbook. Guess and